your daily dose of English fluency.
Hey, English learners, welcome back to the Mr. English Master podcast, your home for real English, daily life conversations, and easy listening practice.
That's right. This is the place where you learn English the way people actually speak it, not from a dusty textbook, not from boring grammar drills.
I'm Sarah.
And I'm Alex. How are you doing today, Sarah? Did you have a good morning?
Oh, honestly, yes. I made a really good cup of coffee and I sat outside for a few minutes before starting work. It was peaceful.
That sounds amazing. I need to do that more. My morning was a little rushed. I forgot my keys inside and had to knock on my own door.
Oh no, Alex, that is the most classic thing.
I know. Anyway, moving on very quickly.
Okay. So today we have a really fun topic, and I think a lot of our listeners are going to feel very seen.
Yes, because today we are talking about English mistakes, specifically the mistakes that learners make every single day without even realizing it.
And listen, before you feel nervous about that word mistakes, we want to say something very clearly right now.
Mistakes are completely normal. Every single person learning English makes them. We made them. We still make them sometimes.
Exactly. This episode is not here to make you feel bad. It's here to help you notice these little things so you can fix them naturally over time.
Think of it like someone quietly telling you there's spinach in your teeth.
They're not being mean. They're helping you.
That is such a good comparison. Yes, we are your spinach in the teeth friends.
Exactly. You're very caring, very honest English friends.
But before we dive in, we want to ask you for a small favor. If this podcast helps your English, please like this episode, subscribe, and share it with one friend who is learning English.
Especially that friend who says, "My English is fine," but then says, "I am very boring," when they mean, "I am very bored."
Oh, that one hurts a little because we have all said something like that.
We have. Okay, let's get into it. So, Alex, what is the first mistake?
Okay, mistake number 1, mixing up bored and boring, or tired and tiring, or excited and exciting.
Yes, this is such a common one. Can you explain the difference?
Sure. So think of it this way. The ed ending describes how you feel. The ing ending describes the thing that causes the feeling.
So if I say, "I am boring," what does that mean?
It means you are the boring one. You are the one making other people fall asleep.
Not ideal.
Right, but I am bored means you feel bored. Something is making you feel that way.
So the rule is, ask yourself, who has the feeling? That person gets the ed. The thing causing the feeling gets ing.
Exactly. The movie was boring. I was bored. The class was tiring. I was tired. The trip was exciting. I was excited.
Simple, but so easy to mix up. I actually remember a student who wrote, "I am very interesting in English."
Oh no, they meant interested, right?
Yes, I am very interested in English, but I am very interesting means I am a fascinating person, which may be true, but probably not what they meant.
Okay, so remember, feeling, use ed. Cause, use ing. That is mistake number 1 fixed.
Love it. What is mistake number 2?
Mistake number 2, using make and do in the wrong places.
Oh yes, this one confuses so many learners because in a lot of languages, there is just one word for both.
Exactly. In many languages, you use one verb for everything, but in English, make and do are different.
So what is the easy way to understand it?
Think of make as creating something. Something new comes out. You make a cake. You make a mistake. You make a decision. Something is produced.
And do is more about actions and tasks, things you complete. You do your homework, you do the dishes, you do your best.
The tricky part is that English doesn't always follow its own rules perfectly.
It never does.
No, it doesn't. But the general idea still helps. Make, something is created. Do, an action or task is completed.
I have a small story about this one. When I was helping a friend practice English, she said, I did a big mistake yesterday.
And it should be, I made a big mistake.
Yes, because a mistake is something that is, in a way, created. It comes from you. So we make mistakes. We don't do them.
That's a nice way to think about it. The mistake comes from you. You created it, so you make it.
Exactly. And the more you hear it, the more it sounds natural. That is how language works. You hear it, repeat it, and one day it just feels right.
Great. Mistake number 2. Make and do. Use make for things you create. Use do for tasks and actions. Moving on. What do you think about mistake number 3, Sarah?
Okay, mistake number 3 is one of my personal favorites to talk about. It is saying I am agree instead of I agree.
Oh, yes, a classic.
So many learners say I am agree with you or I am not agree. But in English, agree is a verb, not an adjective.
So you don't need am before it.
Right. You just say I agree or I don't agree or I totally agree with you.
It's a simple fix, but it makes a big difference in how natural you sound.
And it comes from a very understandable place. In many languages, you do use a form of to be with agreement. So the brain just transfers that pattern.
Exactly. The brain is trying to help. It's using what it already knows. That is actually a smart thing. It's just not quite right for English.
So the fix is easy. Remove the am. Just say, I agree. I disagree. I totally agree. I don't agree at all.
Clean, simple, sounds natural. Now, Sarah, I think we need to talk about a really sneaky one.
Oh, the sneaky ones are always the best. Which one?
Mistake number 4, using since and for incorrectly with time.
Ah, yes. This one is very sneaky because both words talk about time, so it's easy to mix them.
Right, so here's the difference. Since is used with a specific point in time, a moment when something started. For is used with a duration, a period of time.
So I have lived here since 2019. That means 2019 is the starting point.
And I have lived here for 5 years. That means the duration, 5 years, is what you are describing.
A simple test is to ask, is this a point or a period? Point, since, period, for.
I like that. Point or period. That's easy to remember.
I have heard people say, I have been studying English since 3 years, and that small change, since to for, makes it correct. I have been studying English for 3 years.
Yes, and when you say since, you need a year, a month, a moment. Since Monday, since last summer, since I was a child.
Exactly. So point in time equals since, length of time equals for. Okay, I think it's time to talk about the one that makes people feel a little embarrassed.
Oh, which one is that?
Mistake number 5, saying yesterday night instead of last night.
Oh, yes. This one is very common.
So in English, we don't say yesterday night. We say last night, always.
And the same pattern applies to other time expressions. It's last week, not the previous week. Well, the previous week is correct, but very formal. In conversation, we say last week, last month, last year.
But here's the interesting part. We do say yesterday morning and yesterday afternoon, just not yesterday night.
English, everybody, making its own rules and then breaking them.
Right. But the fix is simple. Anytime you want to say yesterday night, just switch it to last night, and it will sound perfectly natural.
Great. So we have 5 mistakes covered. Let's do our vocabulary spotlight, what we like to call the word tour, so our listeners can really lock in the key language from today.
Yes, let's do it. Alex, take us through the words.
Okay, first word, transfer, as in the brain transfers a grammar pattern from one language to another. Transfer means to move something from one place to another. My brain transferred the wrong rule into English, or don't transfer bad habits from your old routine.
Next word, duration. Duration means the length of time something lasts. The duration of the movie was 2 hours. Or, I have been learning English for a long duration.
Then we have natural. When something sounds natural, it sounds the way a native speaker would say it. Easy, fluent, not forced. I want my English to sound natural. Or, the more you practice, the more natural it feels.
We also use the word pattern. A pattern is something that repeats in a regular way. In language, a grammar pattern is a rule that appears again and again. I noticed a pattern in how English uses articles, or once you see the pattern, English gets easier.
And one more, produce. To produce something means to create it or bring it into existence. When you speak English, you produce sentences, or good habits produce good results over time.
If you didn't catch every word just now, that is completely okay. Go back and listen to that section again. And here's a small challenge for you. Pick one of those words and use it in a sentence today. Say it out loud. Write it down. Text it to a friend.
Even send it to us in the comments. We read them.
We really do. And seeing your sentences makes our day every time.
Okay, so let's give our listeners something they can do right now. Simple action steps.
Step 1. Think about which of these 5 mistakes you make the most. Just pick one. You don't have to fix all 5 today.
Step 2. Write that one mistake down. Write the wrong version and then the correct version next to it. Seeing it clearly makes a big difference.
Step 3. Use the correct version 3 times today. In a sentence in your head, in a message to a friend, out loud to yourself 3 times.
Step 3. When you catch yourself making the mistake, and you will catch yourself because now you know, don't feel bad. Just smile and correct it quietly.
Exactly. Every time you catch a mistake yourself, that is a sign your English is getting better. Your brain is working. Your English is growing.
Okay, let's do a quick recap of today's 5 mistakes so they stay in your memory.
Mistake 1. Bored versus boring. The ED is how you feel. The ING describes what causes the feeling.
Mistake 2, make versus do. Make is for creating, do is for tasks and actions.
Mistake 3. I am agree is incorrect. Just say, I agree. Agree is a verb. It doesn't need am.
Mistake 4, since and for. Since is for a specific point in time, for is for a length of time.
Mistake 5. Yesterday night is not natural in English. The correct phrase is last night, always.
5 small changes, 5 big steps towards more natural, confident English.
And we want to say this one more time before we go. You are not a bad English speaker because you make these mistakes. You are a brave English learner because you are here, listening, growing, and trying every day.
That takes real courage, and we're proud of you for it.
Now it is your turn. We want to hear from you. Which of these 5 mistakes do you make the most? Write it in the comments below.
And be honest, it's a safe space here. We're all learning together.
If this episode helped you, please like, share, and subscribe to Mr. English Master. Your support helps us keep making content just like this, real, useful, and fun.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us today. Every minute you spend learning English is an investment in yourself.
This was the Mr. English Master podcast with Sarah and
Alex.
until next time, keep practicing, keep growing, and be kind to yourself. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. Take care.